task at hand right now, for me anyway, is fix this cord on this belt sander. Like there's some random Phillips and either Torx screws holding this handle switched together, so get those taken out and see what the switch and wires look like. Wow, it's even nicked in here. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like there's two more T15s holding the switch on. Okay, so we got a ground and we've got our hot. Okay, we got a hot that comes into the switch, and then a hot that goes out of the switch to power the sander. Well, ground, and then neutral that also goes down to the sander. Looks like these are like the little stabbies connector thingies. There you go. Those are just like little, I doubt you can see it down in there, but they're just like little squeezy things, like same as on a receptacle on a wall, kind of, that you where you plug into. And if you kind of just take a pick and or something like a pick or a screwdriver and push it in there just enough to wedge those contacts apart, then you can pull the wire out. It would appear that these two ends here need to be covered in solder, or tinned, I think you call it. But it shouldn't be too difficult. So, all right, pick it up once we get the other cord figured out. You're gonna want to save this boot strain relief if you can for whatever cord you replace it with. Should just slide out. Yeah, there we go. Alright, well, I know I got a pile of loose cords. This one ought to be about perfect. I think this one was from like a space heater or something. It's got the same insulation thickness. So, and obviously it's got the main 3 wires that we're after, which is just the ground, the neutral, and the hot. No, there's all the dust. Look at that, it's just caked in there. But I mean, I guess that's about expected for a tool designed to remove wood. this ring terminal that I have is significantly bigger. The hole is close to the same size, but the actual like outside diameter of it is much bigger, if you can see. So we'll see if it's gonna work or not, but I think it should. It was just one of those, whoop, one of these normal ones, and I just took that plastic sheathing or whatever it is off. And then when you get your new cord, just take the old one and kind of match the length of the existing, or the one that was on it to begin with. And then that black wire that goes to the switch, that needs to be tinned, because that you're never going to be able to shove this stranded wire, you can see like that, you'll never be able to shove that into these stabby style connections. You have to take, you can see here's the one that's been tinned. You probably don't need this, but also won't hurt to take some of this tinning flux or something similar. You could probably use paste flux or other stuff as well, but that should help you get a little bit cleaner tinning. Oops. Doesn't hurt to get a little solder on there before. And then you just want to make sure that wire gets nice and hot before you add anything. There we go. If you're going to be soldering inside, I'd recommend getting one of these cheap USB fans too, or some sort of a fan. Doesn't have to be USB fan, just any sort of a fan. If you're going to be inside, and also if you can, open a window, try and blow whatever smoke you're sending up out the window. That's what it looks like after it's tinned. And then you'll be able to shove it into the back of that switch. You also don't have to take this all the way off if you're just fixing the cord. I just took it off because I was getting rammy and taking things off. But now I just gotta put this boot back on and shove this back into the switch, strip this wire, put a new wire nut thingy on there, and then put that side back into the other side of the switch and try and stuff everything back into the handle. And then Jeffrey or Bob should be my uncle. Alright, I ended up taking this out and or I had like put it together once and tried ramming all the wires that I fixed and spliced or whatever, and it was just a little bit too much extra. So I cut this white wire back again, and I didn't have any of those like crimp style wire connectors or whatever, so I just took something like this, something similar to this, and twisted these two together here, and then I took my little dikes or side cutters here and chopped off the end of that, and just put a tiny little chunk of shrink tubing on the very end of that, and that worked better than the other thing I had. So that's reinstalled. The little lock there works, so you can see. So back in there. I feel like it's not pressed together anywhere. The only spot that looks a little bit somewhat separated is right there, but I don't know if that's because it's too tight or whatever. There's that cord, the length of cord I put on there. It's like the exact same one as the one that was on there. So should be able to plug it in and try it. Kidding. Didn't actually get electrocuted or shocked. Alright, well, this freaking boat anchor is back in action. Just get a belt and do some sanding.